Well, hello there. It is your host, LA, and I am back with you. I know it's been a couple of days, almost a couple weeks, possibly, since I have shared with you on this podcast. So, today I want to share with you from my personal experience these couple of weeks and explain why I have been absent on the podcast, absent on social media. So let's get right into the podcast. Welcome to Lesson in Everyday Podcast. I am so excited and delighted and so appreciative of you being tuned in or tuning in to this podcast. Hopefully, you find something on this podcast to encourage you and to remind you that you can make it. And hopefully, you share with someone that needs that uplift and that lift up to say, hey, I know life is happening, but you're going to get through. You're going to make it. Listen, these past days, these past weeks have been very challenging for me. And I don't know how else to word it, but by wording it as this. Life has been lifing, okay? My life has been lifing. I have had challenges in almost every area of my life, from the emotional area or stage to mental, physical, and spiritually. Also mentally. It has been challenges. And although I've done a series or episodes about self-talk, having the self-talk, having the encouragement to give yourself, y'all, let me be real. I believe once you encourage others, the test begins. Are you able to encourage yourself? Okay. And life has been lifing. Okay. It's been happening for me. And I have been trying to find my tune again, trying to find that way to be back in tune with self, because self has really been in a place where all of those areas that I encourage others to protect has been challenged. And it's almost as if one problem has gotten over the fence and has triggered the alarm in all the other areas, okay? I hope you understood that explanation. So I have been almost under a rock again, and I didn't really know what words to put into play or how to even present how my life has been to you guys. But I'm hoping that this podcast gives me an opportunity to share with you that life sometimes just have challenges. I'm not even going to say sometimes, always. But it's always how we respond to life challenges. And even though it gives us the opportunity to grow, to learn more about ourselves, I have really been in a place of just feeling like my world is in a whirlwind. And honestly, it's like everything has got flipped upside down, turned all the way around. But tonight, here in Okinawa, I had a friend to ask a question that really gave me an opportunity to pause and respond. Now, the way that I responded to the question was so ironic. I don't know why I used the word ironic, but maybe it will continue to explain itself or reveal itself after my explanation. So I was asked a question about just where I am in life and some of the status in some of the areas of my life with me taking a pause and really just being able to respond wholeheartedly and openly, I was able to respond with a very assured answer, I would say. Life is lifing. I have challenges. But I will say that it inspired me to be able to come on this podcast because I got to a point of thinking how chaotic things have been in life for me in general, in all of those areas. It's amazing how one still pushes through each and every day, reminded that it's a blessing to even be awake and waking up each and every day, given that opportunity to at least say, today I'm going to push and press through. I'm going to get up. And sometimes you have those days where, hey, all you can do is get up. You don't know what words to encourage yourself with. You don't have the words to express and explain to others where you are because the challenges are just unexplainable. Everything hitting you at one time and a lot of emotions all over the place. And yet you're still here. And sometimes we're walking around like a zombie, okay? Where we're here, but we're not here. And sometimes it's just a matter of needing to just figure things out, put it to play, allow yourself to write it down and express yourself to yourself. But also, it really does help when you can talk to someone or someone just asks you a simple question that leads to all the answers and inspiration that you've been looking for. Sometimes it takes the one person or one moment that changes everything. And so tonight, I remember sharing that life is challenging for everyone. In some sense of this chaotic world of life and life happening, it's about how we grow. How do we learn how to respond differently? Well, as you go through and you are able to pause and think about your answer, you taking a pause in a moment to really even think about a question, that right there is growth, I believe. Even if you are a thinker, it's just a matter of through all the chaos and how you may view your world right now, right? For you to just even take a moment to be able to think and pause in the middle of all the chaos, to me is growth. You're responding differently. You're taking a moment to really pace yourself and slow down and say, wow, yes, you know what? I'm actually breaking things down and figuring out how to really respond. And I want to respond openly and honest because at the end of the day, that's the only way we get help. That's the only way we resolve and find a solution, right? It's by being honest and factoring in as many facts and factors that plays a part in your chaotic world, right? Being able to break it down. So I realized that through all of this, it took one question from someone actually checking in to be able for me to slow down. Now, granted, I've had a lot of people checking in, but sometimes it's the question that's been asked. And sometimes it's just the timing. The timing for me tonight was right. I needed to pause and recollect and honestly, openly have this open dialogue to allow myself to be honest. My world has been turned upside down with all of the chaos. in every area. And yet I find myself still pressing and pushing through. Now, why do I word everything as is and share this moment with you? Because I believe someone out there needs to know you're going to make it. And life isn't perfect. No one's life is perfect. Sometimes it can be really good. And then sometimes it could be really horrible. But sometimes it could be right in the middle. But either way, I truly believe everyone has a moment when life is lifing. And there are challenges you just can't explain. There are times when you just don't feel like picking up the clothes and you just keep everything on the floor. You don't fix your bed and your house begin to look like your life. And all you can say is, this is where I'm at right now. But it doesn't mean I'm going to stay there. Each and every day, though I have had discomfort, disappointment, mental disturbance from just trauma, triggers, and also just emotionally set-offs, I still pressed forward. And even though a part of me would reflect and say, what would you have done in the past? I think about that. And I say, I'm not going to respond like I would have because I've grown past certain reactions that I would give to life and challenges. Now I'm responding in a more healthier way. And even though I haven't had it all together these past couple of days and weeks, I still pressed forward. I still tried and longed and desired and was seeking to do something each and every day. Even if it was 5 minutes, even if it was one smile, I still pressed forward to trying to find something to keep me balanced. I was still seeking. I didn't stop. So my encouragement to you is when life is lifing, it's okay. It is okay because you're not going to have it all together. You're not going to know it all. And at the end of the day, sometimes you may have to sit in the middle of the chaos until the light bulb switch goes off or until you get lifted back up and you realize life isn't as bad. However, my current circumstances and situations may be challenging, but I can get through this. I will get through this. It's the beauty of life as you're growing and as you continue to grow. Life, chaos, whirlwind, storms, all of it. It's a part of life. It's happening. It's your journey. But I truly believe that if I did not have all of these weeks and days, I wouldn't have the courage to be able to even share and be open about it. Or even tell someone that, hey, no one's life is perfect. And I can't compare my circumstances to yours, but I can say that you will find a way. As long as you keep seeking and keep believing, you'll find a way out of it. You'll find a way to rise above. You'll find a way to be lifted again, to get back up. You will find a way as long as you keep searching and believing. I did not stop believing. I just had some blurry nights, some blurry days. I just had challenges. And even though I feel like I'm doing this all by myself, I know I'm not. Because somewhere, someone is thinking of me. Someone's praying. And even though they may not know me by name, I believe that their spirit is leading them to pray, giving them the words to say. And not only that, but my inner being is also standing and praying. We are all, in some fashion or form, going to experience challenges. We're all going to have lifing at one point in time. But the key is to keep believing. And yes, do we always feel like getting out the bed and pushing through? No. Do we always feel like believing? No. But I do believe that you have to. You gotta keep believing. Even when you don't feel like it, even when you can't see your way through, just keep believing. Because there's gonna be a moment that turns everything around for you. It's gonna be a day. The sun will shine again. That light bulb will go off. The encouragement is coming your way. I really hope that I said something tonight that will help you and to continue to encourage you, because I was inspired, and I know that everything happens the way it should and in the time that it's supposed to. Don't be so hard on yourself, because at the end of the day, we all have those days. We all have those moments. Allow yourself grace and space and mercy. At the same time, continue to be there for you, because sometimes you're going to have moments where there isn't anyone else. The time difference for me here, Okinawa, and my loved ones in the States is completely different. So it's difficult to be able to pick up the phone and call when I want to. You know, I spent the other night on my floor in my bathroom just crying. And then I started praying, and I'm like, God, I just don't understand. My life feels like a whirlwind right now. What is happening? But tonight is a new night. And tonight I was inspired. So again, life is lifing, but things change. It won't always be the same. So keep hope alive and understand it's okay. You may be going through right now, but you won't always be going through. Again, I hope I said something to encourage you, and I hope you can take bits and pieces from my story and my personal journey and understand you're not alone. You're not the only one. We can't compare our journey. We can't compare our crisis or circumstances or trauma or healing process. But what we can do is encourage each one and one another that we can get through this. We can get through whatever we're going through. We can. But we just got to keep holding on and keep believing and keep trusting. And I don't want to make promises, but I will say this. I truly believe that along your journey, if you keep hope alive, keep trusting and believing, the sunshine will light your path. You'll be inspired again, whether it's from a friend, a stranger, someone afar off, someone near, someone dear. Or maybe you are watching TV and something inspires you, or you're listening to a podcast as so, or you're passing through something. I just know if you keep believing, things will eventually change. So hang in there. You are not alone. Life is lifing over here, and that's why I haven't been out or on the podcast or social media. But I decided that this is what the podcast is about, sharing my personal journey and my story. Every day I don't feel it, but I always believe. And even when I don't, or even when I get to doubting some of my belief as far as believing things will change, because let's be real, we all have hope, but sometimes that hope faints or fade, although we are supposed to hold on and not let it faint or fade. My word to you is, sometimes you get low in life, but just know that you're not going to always be there. I'm going to end it because I'm sure I stayed on here long enough, but I love each and one of you guys, everyone, and I share and spread the love, and I hope you do the same. Remember, we're all experiencing different areas of our life. We're all going through something. Encourage one another. Continue to inspire each other. And continue to hold on and keep believing. Things will change. God bless you.